Alright, y'all. I'm back with another video. And I actually did this video already, and it was like 28 minutes. I was like, come on, man. Not 28 minutes. So we're going to concise this down a little bit, right? So the main points today are some trades have gone through over the last like 24 hours. Dennis Schroeder to the Lakers, Chris Paul to Phoenix, you know, and then there's the rumors too, or the trade request rumors like Harden wants to go to Brooklyn or Phoenix and he wants out. Um, and there was Steven Adams. They're looking to trade Steven Adams out of OKC. So here's the thing. None of this stuff should surprise you guys, especially if you've been listening to me. If you have not, if been listening to me, if this is your first time on my channel, I've started making official like basketball videos and sometimes other stuff in between. I'm mainly talking about basketball. I'm a Pels fan, primarily a Mavs fan because that is my team, but I'm a fan of the Lakers trio: Lonzo, Bi, Josh Hart. So, and Zion, even though he's not Lakers trio. But if you've been following me for any length of time, especially on Twitter, possibly on Facebook, but I doubt it. But if you've been following me, you've known there's a couple things that I've been adamant about. In recent video, I touched on a couple of, but there's three main things I've talked about over the course of the last year. OKC's bench players, Phoenix being a very good team and being bullish on them, and watching watch everything that goes on with the league to determine where the Pels will be. I'm going to touch on all three of these in this video. And if you're not aware of why I have said these things vehemently and adamantly, you're going to find out. Now, I listed a couple of trades that have happened. Three players are on the move from OKC. One is out there to be shopped, in Steven Adams. So I've been talking about vehemently that OKC's bench was really fucking good. Like they had a lot of good players. Now the numbers may or may not pop out at you, yada yada yada. That's fine. What I'm talking about is as I watched these guys play, I was like, that guy understands basketball. That guy knows how to make the right play. You know, this guy can do this and that. And some of that you could argue may have been the CP3 effect. But when I was watching those guys, I was like, there's a lot of players that teams are going to want and need. I said that in like my either my last video or video for last something like this, somewhere around here. Now watch. Now we've got Steven Adams trade rumor, CP3 and Nader. Nader's somebody I've mentioned all year on Twitter. He is on the move with CP3 to Phoenix. And they're getting Rubio, Oubre, and some other guys. Now, with that being said, they still got some pieces on that bench that could go and would be like needed around the league. So we may not be finished hearing about OKC, especially if they're getting rid of Adams. But we also got Schroeder to the Lakers. So that's two of their bench players plus one of their starters, and then a potential another starter in the rest of the bench. That team had depth that was slept on. I know teams, we hear bench depth. We're talking to some degree about the Lakers. We're talking about the Raptors, a couple other teams. Somehow the Pelicans got mentioned for their depth. We don't have a lot of depth. What we had is some depth at certain positions, over depth, some repetitive that we didn't fucking need. But the main thing, and Dallas is depth, but the main thing is, these same teams, minus Pels, but in particular OKC, is getting stripped of their talent. Now, they're looking to rebuild, and they're going to have all these draft picks because their eyes like that 2022, 2023 draft class, obviously, because that's where a lot of the picks are going to start popping up, or that's where they're going to look to make their moves. And that's supposed to be a legendary draft class, supposedly, allegedly. But the teams are seeing what I saw. Number one. Number two, you cannot win in this league unless you have an overpowered starting five, unless you have a good bench. Period. And even with that overpowering starting five, one injury could derail the whole thing. So you gotta have a bench. It's one of the things I cried about way before, not physically cried, but like was pleading. Like, please get a bench. Our bench is trash. When everyone's like, Pels bench is good. The Pels got a good bench. I'm like, bench where? Where the fuck are the pieces? Like, where the fuck are the pieces? Who on the bench is solid? Like, who is valuable at every position on the bench? Well, we got Jahlil Okafor. The nigga don't play defense. We got Jackson Hayes. He's a rookie. He don't even have a grown man body yet. What the fuck are you talking about? Well, what about Nico Melli? What about him? All he can do is shoot threes. And do shit else. Too slow to defend. I mean, he's old. He's like 29 years old. What are you talking about? What about Frank Jackson? You don't watch basketball. I mean, this is the shit I was discussing all year, with the Pelicans. We didn't have a bench, right? So, Pelicans, if you're gonna flip Jrue Holiday, even if you gotta start Josh Hart, something I've said, get bench depth in the front court. Go get on the goddamn phone with motherfucking OKC or some of these other teams. Be like, hey, I need such and such player. What can I give you? Don't pull from Lonzo, Zion, or Bi. Let them niggas sit where they at. But just about everybody else, motherfucker, you need to kill Alexander Walker, send that nigga on. Y'all, I've heard rumors that they may want to get another guard. If that's what you're going to do, then by all means, send the kill Alexander Walker on. But I don't see the point because you already got Nickeil Alexander Walker. And if you're going to fucking get another guard, that's like you're resetting the reset. So you might as well keep Nickeil Alexander Walker and trade something else. Just my opinion. But fuck it. If you can get a solid forward and we can go get like a veteran that'll come off the bench and knows how to run the offense behind Lonzo, I'm cool with that. Make that shit work. But, let's keep it moving real quick. I told y'all I was bullish on Phoenix. I'm even more bullish now that they got a veteran point guard. Now, they're going to have to play slower because CP3 can't run up and down the court, and he's injury prone, so they're going to have to monitor him. But he's going to elevate everybody else and put them in positions and help make them better. Devin Booker now has someone who he can depend on and basically get the understanding he can grow IQ-wise for the game, and he can elevate his game. And I'm telling y'all right now, nobody wants to see the Phoenix Suns in a first-round matchup. I had them being like an 8 seed, maybe 7 seed with CP3. I'm looking at 3-4 seed. They're going to be one of the best teams in the league. And this is assuming the Chris Paul effect happens, DeAndre Ayton takes the leap, and then Devin Booker, we already know what he is. He's going to stay Devin Booker. So I'm looking for them to make a whole lot of noise. And there's some teams that do not, I repeat, do not want to have any parts of that in the first round. Lakers, I'm looking at you. I get y'all just got Schroeder. Rondo may not come back. Avery Bradley just opted out. You really don't have, you got KCP opting out too. There's no guarantee that some of these guys are coming back. And you don't have anybody to defend these guys. And these teams know they need to strip you guys of your guards so that you cannot defend them and they can kill you with their guard play. Because LeBron and AD cannot guard guards all game long. It's just not going to work. So, Phoenix, like I said in my previous video, I'm bullish on them. I expect great things for them. But now, they're going to be so far ahead. Look at this. They were like on the lower end of the spectrum, started to make a run, got to the bubble, made another run. Now they just traded out Oubre and Rubio to get Nader and CP3. So they're trending in the right direction. What did I say in my previous video? All the good teams are going to get better. And you're going to have to match them. You're going to either have to get Lonzo and Zion and them to take a leap, a huge leap, or you're going to have to match them power for power. So if we're going to trade Drew Holiday, you need to be getting something back that can impact the game. And you can say, okay, they may not have the best player on the court, but players 2 through 5 all belong to the Pels. Or at least players 2 through 6. 3 through 6 all belong to the Pels. Because if you're matching up with the Lakers, you're not going to have the best players on the court. So you need to at least be right there so you can say, okay, even in the start lineup. But like I said, this is going to be a fucking arms race. It's going to be an arms race. And I know a lot of you guys don't want to hear that. Oh, we need to make the playoffs. I'm sorry. Let me burst your bubble. OKC is probably going to fall off. But Golden State is going to come up. So guess what? Not getting that spot. Just not getting that spot. So let's continue. Memphis is probably going to fall off. Portland is going to come on up. They're a better team. So the only spots that were available, wait, let me add one more. If they trade Harden, depending on what they get back, Houston could fall off. Now, that's where it gets interesting because they still have Russ. They still have PJ Tucker and Gordon and a couple other parts. Could they still keep their spot? They may not be 4 or 5 seed, but they could be fringe 8. They could be fringe 8. Especially if they would have sent him to Philly to get like Ben Simmons or somebody back, they'd be 8 seed. Or Joel Embiid or something. Or if they trade him to Brooklyn and get like Jared Allen and like Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, that's a haul and that's a good ass trade. Or if they get Kyrie Irving back, fuck it. But with Russ in that package, yes, they're gonna still. They may not be a 4th or 5th seed, but they're gonna be 7th, 8th. So again, where are you gonna get your wins from? That's something I was telling you guys. If you're going to when it comes to this, when you're turning around a team, you have to be able to take wins that were no longer there. We got swept by OKC. So if they decline, especially if they, go in a full rebuild, they're going to fall out. Great. So now we'll sweep them. But we're not going to get the wins against Golden State now. We're not going to get the wins against Portland as easily. It's those wins become hard to get. Phoenix, we're not going to get those wins much more easily. The Lakers just got better. Let's just assume everybody comes back, we got swept by them. What plays or what trades are we making to put ourselves in position to win? That's the key here. And so far, nothing. It's just like Drew or bust right now. I need to see them fishing for other teams. Don't just keep your eyes on Drew and trading Drew. You got time to make other deals with other teams for other parts. That's what we should be seeing. This is where the competency of the front office should be coming into question. I don't want you motherfuckers getting tunnel vision for Drew. Now, I get it. It's first day of free agency. Draft is coming up. There'll still be deals to be made. I'm good. I'm giving them guys to at least Friday. By then, you got a couple days after the draft, and by then teams should be finalizing rosters because within the next week and a half to 2 weeks, training camps start. So you got to have your team put together. And so I expect by Friday, because they just finalized their coaching staff, by Friday we should know who is on the table for who we have. And we don't have time for that bullshit. Come on, Pels. Other teams are getting stronger. What are you going to do? So, now we got to deal with the East problem. Granted, the Pels wouldn't play the East teams a lot, but, there's a difference in playing Brooklyn last year and Brooklyn with KD. Or if they have Harden too. There's a difference between playing Philly from last year and Philly this year with Doc Rivers. Especially if they get Harden or something. The wins, and there's less games, so there's less margin for error. So I want you guys to keep that shit in mind. If the Pels are going to try to do anything, they're going to have to grow their talent, which was the whole purpose of Stan Van Gundy. But they're going to have to get that depth because they can't afford not to at this point. You know, Memphis is going to come back and they're going to want blood, and Josh should get even better. Jaren Jackson Jr. should be even better. Now, my Mavs, those of you didn't know, I'm formerly a Mavs fan, still a Mavs fan. KP, from what I was told, or my understanding, is not supposed to be back until like midway through the season. So it's going to be Luka or bust. They're going to have to put everything on Luka's back. They could potentially slide a little bit. However, Luka is a transcendent player. It is like, period. He is that guy. He could potentially have that LeBron effect where he could carry the team into the playoffs. Now, we may be able to eke some wins out against them that we couldn't get last year, but it's not going to be easy by any means. And with less games, I'm telling you, unless the Lakers trio makes a huge jump, I don't see it happening. Phoenix is already going to. Nobody is not projecting them to be top 5. At worst, top 8. They're going to be in the playoffs. Nobody is projecting them to be outside the playoffs. Minnesota still has the number 1 pick. We don't know who they could get. LaMelo, Wiseman, Edwards, somebody all together that we don't predict. It's possible, or trade it for a player. So I'm just telling you, you know, the Pels got to Friday to make some plays, make some moves. And the longer they take to get this shit situated, the less is going to be out there to be done and be made. You know, I'm sorry. It is what it is. And Jeremy Grant from Denver, he declined his player option. Somebody I've heard a lot of people, rally for. They should be, hey man, whatever you want, we got you. Come play for us. Something. If you're going to get rid of Drew anyway, fuck it. But you got to do something. Sitting on your ass, twiddling your thumbs for Drew getting traded is not going to benefit us. When you got teams that weren't in the playoffs just got better. Teams that were in the playoffs that are coming out of the playoffs have teams replacing them that normally are perennially in a playoff, but their team was injured all season. Portland barely got into the playoffs, and they were hurt most of the year. That's why they had to go sign Carmelo. So you're going to have to go make plays. You got to go get a team. First of all, we got to get the right bench depth. We got to get rid of some of these other guys. There need to be no Frank Jackson on this damn team. Don't need to be no damn E'Twaun Moore, whether he's a good vet or not. We need to see results. And right now, we're not getting results. The first thing we should have seen, New Orleans Pelicans are trading, if not Drew Holiday, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, or Jackson Hayes, or Melia, somebody else. We should be saying, hey, we're getting some forwards. We should be seeing something like that. Hell, Zach LaVine, they said, is available for trade. Long shot, but fuck it. I'm just saying, hey, can we get Larry Markkinen then if y'all niggas don't want Zach LaVine? Fuck it. What y'all want? I'm just saying. But can't sit there twiddling your thumbs. Like, the rest of the league is getting stronger and you're staying pat. And I get it. You expect the trio and Zion to elevate and step up and carry you. But they're still young, they're still experienced, and they're still getting established. You can't sit by and solely rely on their development. It's not like you're getting Larry Bird and Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan on the same team right now. Even though, to be fair, you can kind of comp some of that. I'm lying. You can't. I mean, the only one you can, like, everybody is like an inferior version of everybody I just listed. I'm sorry. It was just a joke. Don't sue me. Don't take that serious. But the point is, you don't have, Lucas. You don't have a team full of Lucas right now. You don't have a team full of Devin Bookers. You don't have a team full of Embiids or Jokers. Even if Denver doesn't change out their roster majorly, MPJ is going to jump this year. They already have proven Murray and Joker. If MPJ steps up and improves, they don't need Grant. They don't need Gary Harris. Some of these other guys. They're going to have the guy that they need. So they can afford that because they're already established. They're a playoff team, a consistent one. We don't have that. So we need to be making moves. I need to be seeing a center in a Pels uniform next year that isn't Derek Favors, Jahlil Okafor, or Jackson Hayes. A rim protector at that. Or a stretch five, Kelly Olynyk or somebody. Come on, man. But this is your boy. I just want to come on and drop a video since we talking trades and shit today. So I hope y'all have a motherfucking good day. And hopefully the front office for the Pels get off their ass and make a damn play. The same way that they want Lonzo to attack the rim and make a damn play. So, with that being said, y'all have a good ass fucking day. Peace, nigga.